This episode of Tekzilla is brought to you by the 2012 Ford Mustang. Digital cameras, they're definitely holiday shopping staples, so we invited our favorite digital camera guru, CNet's Lori Grunin, to talk holiday camera shopping. I bet, Lori, you love throwing elbows to get the Black Friday deals down at the mall, don't you, Lori?
Yeah, you know me so well, Patrick. No, as a matter of fact, I have to say I really love this time of year.
I was funny. Somebody's like, don't you love Black Friday? I'm like, no. I pretty much roll with Amazon Prime for everything. I mean, any favorite online shopping sites for digital cameras, or just roll with whatever seems to be the best deal?
Well, I think it depends upon what type of camera you're getting. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're going for like an SLR or something expensive, I tend to like B&H. They don't have the broadest selection or the best prices, but for me at least, I've been there. I know the store, I trust them, etc. Places like Adorama are good. The sort of the camera specialty retailers that are online as well as have brick and mortar stores.
The big ones. You don't want to, if you find something like, you know, Bob's House of Cameras, and they have a price that's like half of what everybody else is offering, that's usually, if not a scam, then something where they basically perform terrorist acts on your credit card to try to get you. But you know, I think it was Thomas Hawk who had that happen a couple years ago, where he paid for a camera, and they're like, yeah, you need to bundle that with the accessory pack, which was like twice the price of the camera. And they basically, you know, That's
a huge scam that a lot of places run. My rule of thumb for shopping, and it's not just for cameras, it's for all consumer electronics, is don't buy the cheapest one you can find. Get something that's at the lower end of the price range, but that's not sort of, you know, something that's too good to be true, because it usually isn't. I also always, before I give anybody my credit card or whatever, I Google them. You know, I search, Bing them if you want, Yahoo them, whatever, but just look for people saying these people rip me off.
That's something you want to avoid, especially if money's tight when you're doing your holiday shopping. Speaking of which, should we talk about like bargain digital cameras? What's your favorite low-end, or I should say less expensive digital camera that people might want to find under the tree or around Hanukkah this time of year?
Well, right now, because it changes daily, our top pick is probably the Canon Powershot A1200. It's cheap, but you can find it for actually, I think, less than $100 these days. And it's one of the few cameras that still takes AA batteries, which is appealing to a lot of people. You know, you don't have to worry about the batteries running out. It's not tiny. It's not the tiniest thing. It's very small, but it has a little grip. So, you know, a lot of times you get the really small cameras that are just hard to use. So, and it gives you good image quality in auto mode. So, it's exactly what a lot of people are looking for.
Perfect, and under $100 is a great price. How about as we start stepping up, what's your favorite sort of higher quality point and shoot camera? And is that 200, 250 about when you start sort of stepping up?
Yeah, I would say about 250. We have a few of them. I'd probably say the Sony Cybershot DSCW570. That's, if I recall correctly, it's still in the budget range, but it's more like a regular, you know, with the lithium-ion battery and compact and cute type of camera. There's the Canon ELPH300HS. I believe the 300 is a slightly older model. It's either from earlier this year or the end of last year, but it's, I believe, less than $250 and still gives you really good image quality for the price, and it's just a nice little, decent performing compact camera.
Nice. So stepping up, if you're not quite ready for a full-on, I want Canon or Nikon glass, but you still want interchangeable lenses. We have at least two people on Tekzilla that have bought the Sony NEX5N. What do you think about the whole micro four thirds interchangeable lens? Is there even a name for this category of?
Yeah. Well, Panasonic is pushing, calling them compact system cameras, but they're not all compact. So at places like Best Buy, that's what you'll see them called. We call them interchangeable lens cameras, and I tend to actually consider the whole thing now a superset of both the mirrorless ones and the DSLRs, anything with a lens that, you know, can come off. But one of my rules of thumb, I have lots of thumbs. One of them these days is, actually this is an older one, is that really something's not ready for prime time until it's third generation.
Right.
And the ILCs, as we call them, are now finally hitting their third generation, and they're finally, the speed is good, and the image quality is good, which is really the two things that you're looking for when you're paying money for something like that. They're not cheap. They start at about $500.
Which gets you sort of right in sort of DSLR territory, where you have, you know, professional glass lenses that maybe you're migrating from a traditional film camera, assuming anybody out there is still shooting film that's watching Tekzilla. What do you like? What's your favorite DSLR? I know I like the Canon Rebel, but you're going to say the Nikon.
No, actually, first of all, favorite DSLR. If you want to spend $7,000, I can list one.
Absolutely, $7,000. We had somebody buy an $83,000 monitor. We talked about an HDTV. So I think a $7,000 camera is within the range of possibility.
But for holiday shopping, you're not going to get a lot of takers for people who are going to want to buy that for you. But for at the sort of the highest end of what I consider a holiday gift, the Nikon D7000 is actually one of my favorite mid-range cameras. It's pretty much got everything. It's one of the few cameras we've actually given an editor's choice to recently.
Oh, wow.
Recently, it was the beginning of this year. It feels recently. But it's fast, good image quality, very nicely designed. They seem to have done almost everything right in terms of DSLR design, in where the controls are, and so on, and a great feature set. So, you know, if you really love a photographer, you can get them that.
And those are selling for about $1,200 without the lens, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Right, and of course, you know, you're going to want to match it with a good lens, so that's a pretty hefty kit for a gift.
Suddenly, you're up to $2,000 again.
Yes. Well, actually, maybe even more. For a cheaper, sort of consumer-priced SLR, both the Canon EOS Rebel T3i and the Nikon D5100, they're both sort of nice prosumer cameras that I think, frankly, anybody would be happy getting. I don't think I've seen anybody complain that that was a bad camera for them.
No. I myself covet the T3i in an embarrassing way that I won't discuss in a public forum. Lori, any accessories you recommend bundling with a new camera? I mean, I love making sure people have a lens pen, because I'm tired of picking up, you know, optical devices where I look at the lens and I'm like, oh, no wonder I can't actually see anything. There's fingerprints or
It's amazing how many people complain about how fuzzy the photos are. It's like, when's the last time you cleaned your lens?
You can clean them?
I'm a big fan of the lens pen, too. I also, you know, actually get, if you're along those lines, get somebody a package of microfiber cleaning cloths, or, you know, just feeling cheap, stocking stuffer, a blower, you know, canned air to blow the dust off. But if you want to seem like a little more photo savvy and want to get somebody a gift, things like an iFi SD card, which can add wireless uploading and geotagging to a camera that doesn't support it. I happen to be a really big fan of the Wacom tablets. If for somebody who likes to play with their photos, you know, if you know a scrapbooker who likes to manipulate their photos, or just somebody who's doing more than taking them and uploading them to Facebook, Wacom tablets are a really nice accessory. Even the cheaper ones. It's gotten to the point where the cheaper ones are as good as the old ones used to be.
Ooh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, they're just not as big. Straps. I happen to be a really big fan of the Black Rapid straps, the sling straps, where it screws into the tripod mount of your camera.
Oh, smart.
And especially for like an SLR size camera, it's a lot more comfortable than sort of hanging around your neck. It slings and you can move it anywhere, and it's for easy access, and that's what I happen to use. Wow, more accessories.
And you know what, Lori? That is an awesome list to get. And you didn't even mention standard SD cards, because that's the thing that always everybody goes, yeah, buy an SD card. It's a camera, but actually now I want to check out that strap. Now I want a camera that I can't buy myself for Christmas, and maybe I'll get the strap in my stocking. Lori Grunin, Awesome, awesome, awesome knowledge as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Lori Grunin, CNet.com is a place to find more of her work. I highly recommend it. The woman loves photography. Ford's back again today, sponsoring Tekzilla, and today we thought we'd tell you a little bit more about how Ford is pushing the envelope on technology more than any other car manufacturer to empower app developers. Now, this was on full display a few months ago at the TechCrunch Hackathon, where developers were given information on Ford's new API and SDK and challenged to hack new integrations for in-car entertainment and app goodness. Developers from Spotify had the app up and running via AppLink in no time, allowing for control via voice commands, which is awesome. And beyond just passing voice commands, AppLink can actually allow the car to pass relevant information like GPS, fuel economy, and speed back to an app on your mobile device. I sense, oh, this could be fun. Thanks again to Ford and the 2012 Mustang for sponsoring Tekzilla this week.